Good morning, YouTube. Today's topic is goat worming. I'm going to share some information that I know about goat worming. I'm sure there is quite a bit of information out there, but this is what I do on my goats for my herd. Um, so, first off, when do we need to worm our goats? When I see my goats that are eating, but they're still very on the skinny side. I can see that they're eating a lot, just like other goats, but they're still not gaining a lot of weight, or their fur or the coat is very dull. Another reason would be they are a little standoffish. They're not too active, a little slower. Um, Another reason would be their eyelids. I check their eyelids almost whenever I get time. When I'm petting them, I will uh, check their under eyelid color and see if it's not bright pink, if it's like just barely pink, then that's the time I am going to worm them. I will send sometimes, if I have a doubt whether they need worming or not, I will send their goat poo to a testing center near me, and I will get my results back saying, okay, she has this particular worms, and it's high or it's not. Um, so that determines whether I need to. When I do a test, it actually tells me what worm she has, and I need it or I don't need it. It's very easy. But when I don't know what worms are there, or whether I need to worm or not, those are the times, like kidding. Right after kidding, I will worm my goats regardless. I am not going to test her. I am going to just worm her right away, because after kidding, their immunity, they're tired, they have used up so much energy, and they're still continuing to use up a lot of energy producing milk. They're trying to recover from the delivery, and at that time they have a lot of worms, and to help that, I will worm them with ivermectin. That is the one that I think has the maximum number of worms covered. You can go on the website. I don't think it's written right here on the package what worms uh, it actually treats, other than just the main. This one particularly takes care of the adult liver fluke worms. Um, but I think maybe inside there's a paper that has the list of all the worms. But this is like my most favorite worming. Um, not favorite. Let me put it this way. This is the worming that gets the job done all round. Um, I don't use it all the time. I will only use it after kidding, or if there's a real serious um, worming issue with my goat. So this is very, very effective, and it has worked for me from past 3 years. So um, this is very expensive. It is not cheap. I think I paid about 170 or something from Jeffers. This is a big bottle. The small bottle that I bought from Tractor Supply was about $50. I've never bought this big bottle before, so this is my first time. I also bought this worming applicator. I have not used it. I'll have to figure out how to use it, but I'm hoping this makes it easy. Normally this this is injection, so you have to use a syringe to get the medicine out. And then I take the needle out and pour or squirt this medicine right into the goat's mouth. And I give about 12 cc's to my big goats. I usually never worm my babies, so yeah, 12 cc's to my really big doe in milk. And that's the amount I am giving. Now there may be an argument about you're giving too much or too little, but this is what works for me. So this is my number one choice if in the critical situation. The other time I am going to use this is when I have non-stop rain for more than a couple of weeks. If that is the situation, right after the rains stop, I will worm them. The rain brings in so many worms. Yeah, so after a long few weeks of rain, like last year we had 4 weeks of continuous rain. Yeah, and I had to worm them with this. Okay, so if there are other three wormings that I give them. There is valbazen and cydectin and safeguard. Now, I use safeguard dewormer for goats pretty regularly. If I look at their eyelids and they don't look really good, I will worm them with safeguard. And then a week later, I will give them cydectin. And another week later, if I don't see any improvement, then I will go to this one, valbazen. And the thing with this is I do not use this on my pregnant goats. So if my goats are pregnant, I normally just use safeguard. Only in cases where I see that that goat really needs help, just a little help more then I'm going to use the cydectin. Cydectin has a long list of worms, parasites that it takes care of. It is very effective. Safeguard is more of it doesn't have a very strong medication in my opinion, or at least my goats are not immune completely, but it's just doesn't work as good. Now, safeguard deworming for goats works great for my dog and my horse. It does miracles, and very little proportions too. But for my goats, I do use them. I do use it, but I have to use I think I use 16 cc for my older does, and sometimes I have to use the cydectin right after it, the week after. When I give my wormings to the goats, I give them early in the morning, first thing before I feed them anything. No hay, no feed, nothing. And once I give them this, I actually don't give them any grain or any food for at least 4 hours. After that, I will give them a little bit of grain and a little bit of hay. On that day, I will give very little food to them. That way, the medicine is in their system and it's not being washed away right away. So there's a stronger impact if I give them like that with a little bit of fasting. It's not a complete fasting, but just a little bit of fasting right after I give it to them. Same thing. It doesn't matter which worming I'm giving. That is what I do. Now, if it's a really bad worm load, I will give them valbazen, but I will never give them to pregnant goats because this can abort a kid. That's what I've read, and so I don't take any risk with this. So I only time I use this is if these and these have helped but not much, and I need a little bit stronger thing, so I will use this. The reason why I don't directly use this is I don't want my goats to get immune to this. So this is something I rarely use right after kidding, or if there has been a real long time of raining and my does, the does that are having really pale eyelids. So very carefully I use this one. This is almost like it is prescription strength basically. And then this one, these are also pretty strong, but this is more effective. Now the other thing that I use after I worm right away, the next food that I give them is this probiotic plus paste. It also comes in this powder, probiotic powder form. I think that this paste is more effective. However, some of my goats are very picky. They will not let me squirt this, and they will spit it out. It's harder to feed. And in those cases, I will use this powder. There's like a small scooper in here. This is a brand new pack. But there's a small scooper in here, and I just scoop just one tiny thing and give it to them for 4 days after I worm them. And then the next week, again, once I worm them with the second cydectin or whatever, I will give them this. So yeah, so that is how I worm and treat my goats after worming, and so far I have not lost an animal to worms, and this solution has been working for me, and I hope this gives you some ideas on how you are going to worm your goats, or some good information. I do buy all this supplies normally from jeffers.com. So yeah, that's where I normally shop. These are not very expensive. I don't remember the price, but it's about $50-$60, I think, for one of these, or in 50s. It's less than $100, both of these together. I think I paid like 120. I don't know which one is how much, but these are the cheaper worming solutions. Now this one is $20, so it's really cheap, but it's a smaller bottle. So but I like this the best because, of course, it is made for goats. Not always very effective, but it is made for goats, so I like to use this. Okay, so that's all, YouTube. You guys have a great day. Thank you.